What's the biggest myth about medical school academics?
I was very, very close to the borderline of pass and fail.
At that point, I was just like, I hope my mother is on my
She said I look like a disappointed old professor who didn't plan out his life. And
medical school shouldn't be an excuse to
To not enjoy it.
you could shoot a film
yes, I was
based on the
literally
script.
I think the stress too sometimes can be like, what the hell?
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Hello guys, welcome. And today we are going to be talking about the truths in medical school. Basically, we are just going to be sharing our experience and telling you the truth, not what other people will be saying. And with me, I'm in level 600 currently, and these are my colleagues. Yeah?
Hi, I'm Serena.
Yeah.
My name is Stan.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we are all in final year, so we're just going to feel free and share our experience with you. So, as we said, truth about medical school. First of all, I think we have to talk about our experience getting into medical school. Kind of. I mean, mine was a bit hectic. We had to prepare a lot, and preparing for WASI itself was a lot, because my school like this, I think they were strict with regards to the invigilation stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
And basically getting into medical, I think I'd always known I wanted to enter medicine. Yes, I wanted to become a doctor. So right from childhood, I think I'd always had that in mind. And so when it comes to academics, I have always had that pressure on me personally. And then I went to quite a competitive high school too. So I would say I was already kind of molded into that kind of persona. So it wasn't so much of like a lot of pressure when it came to prepare for medical school because I was already under pressure. And yes, God being so good, we are here today, almost done.
Exactly.
With me, I'd say maybe similar to Serena's story, but like not like I was locked in from the get-go, but like that's always something I've had. Like I don't know, growing up in Ghana, if you're like good in JHS or high school, like everyone presumes you're going to become a doctor, and
I
then
feel like Stan should have done a course in physics.
Yeah, he looks like a physician.
everyone presumes you are going to become a doctor.
Because everyone thought he was smart.
Basically,
Everyone thought he should have done maybe an engineering program.
I don't think I had a preference. Like I was just going through the motions.
Do you think that if you were born in probably in the Western world,
I wouldn't do medicine.
You wouldn't do it.
That one.
I wouldn't.
So it's kind of like the setting that we find ourselves.
Yeah.
Kind of the job security or something like that.
For the average Ghanaian, if you're a smart child,
Yeah, like it's not like the job security. It's like people just presume you would become a doctor, and like I didn't really have anything I loved so much, so I just said, okay, let me just go with what they want you to do.
you're a doctor.
Yeah,
Very serious. Very serious. Okay, so I think let's start with the first question for today. That would be that: what's the biggest myth about medical school academics? Kind of right on top of your mind.
It's the fact that people think everyone in med school is a nerd.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yes, but I think the baseline to it is that everyone in medical school is at least, I would say, is averagely intelligent. But then that doesn't mean that everyone here is automatically a nerd because there are people who are. Personally, I would say, somewhat of a nerd when I was in high school. And then when I got to university, I wanted to do more things, and so I decided to open up more and then try to build a social life and then also do other things.
Now she's our president.
Exactly, our president.
She's a politician.
Yes, and I think there are actually some needs, but then people outside often think that so far as you say you are studying medicine means 24/7 you are behind your books, you don't have fun, you don't have friends. I think personally that's the myth I feel.
Yeah, it's like people think there's an archetype of people that are in like medical school, where like every type of personality is found here too, and yeah, there's like a baseline level of intelligence because the coursework is quite hectic, and then like it's not super, it's just a lot. I feel like medicine
is cumbersome, but it's not difficult.
It's not that difficult. It is difficult, but like it's not like the most difficult thing in the world. Like I feel like things pertaining to engineering or even like the organic part of chemistry, like pharmacy and those stuff, they are like, to me, I think they are more complex. But like, yeah, medicine is complex too, but like it's just more cumbersome than most other courses. So you need to have like a baseline level of intelligence, and then you just hustle your way through like one exam or one block at a time. So yeah, but like not everyone. We have different archetypes. We have library people. We have politician people. We have like club people. Like we are all sort of personalities.
You know,
we have YouTube people.
Exactly.
It's not.
Yeah, you
not
know,
like,
I have times where someone will call me and be like, "As for you, dear, I know that you are very busy. Like I
actually like
don't
that.
have time for anything other than my."
I like that. It gives you some.
Yeah.
Respite, some
Because
space.
like
from
sometimes
social
like my mom will call me and maybe like she wants to talk about something, or like, and like maybe I don't want to, or maybe
You're
I
not
want to
in the
say,
mood.
I'll just be like, oh man, we're in the theater, or like they always feel like you're busy, so like you can lean into it to get away with things. Yeah.
And how intense is the workload? Like currently, the way we are facing things in medical school, like the workload.
Oh, it is intense. I just feel you get used to it.
Yeah,
But
like coming
then
up.
the fact that you actually get used to it, it doesn't reduce the intensity or the demand of the work
Right.
in any way. You just get used to the hassle, and then you get used to the stress.
Yeah, and I even think coming up, it even increases.
Yes,
By
it
is that
is, but then it's like you
you find ways to cope.
Your capability of coping with it
of coping gets
increases
better.
every year.
Gets
So
better. Yes, because after every exam, you are kind of more attuned to the stresses, and
Yeah.
you know that, oh, if I do this and that, I can get to finish this amount of like
Material.
slides or study materials in time for the paper.
Yeah.
And so the more your confidence level also builds up, and that helps you manage it. It doesn't mean it gets any better.
If anything, it gets worse. But I mean, we're able to manage with everything. And even the exam sometimes can be very like huge to the extent that I mean you have to battle between memorization and understanding.
There's a time you wrote a paper that was important. I think it was 2.2. I was supposed to grade. I literally bought the hair afterwards. The results didn't come. I didn't grade. Mr. Something. Oh, saw me. I was like, at the street. I said, I asked when did the results come. The day they released the results, I now became calm and I was able to go and grade. I was like,
I think 2.2 was like the first heavy block. Like they were all
1.5 was
difficult.
hard, but then it was better because we did it online.
Like but then like 2.2 was like the first heavy load block.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
anatomy.
it was a lot.
It was anatomy, so like it was a lot. And me, I don't know, like it was like I know it's a lot, but then I wasn't studying because like I felt like it was too much.
Oh,
But like the more you don't study, the more the time is reduced and the more bigger it gets. Like it took like one particular day I just spoke to a friend. Like he's not here, he's in Legon. So like I was complaining about it to him, and then he was like, that's the whole point of medical school. It looks like it's too much for you. But then if you give up, it would definitely be too much for you and you fail. So like he's like, you just have to start and keep going. Like it's too much, but you keep going. By the time you get to the exam, you've probably studied enough to pass, or you haven't. But if you give up, you would definitely not have studied enough. So just start.
I remember it was upper and lower limbs, right? I read upper and lower limbs very well, and someone was like, I should read on the abdomen. It was my roommate then. I told her that no matter what, I'll be able to shade enough to get me the 50.
With
And I went, and 70% of the questions was abdomen.
Oh my goodness.
See, I'll never forget. It is the only blood I remember accurately the thing they asked.
This isn't where I was expecting the story to be going. I thought she was going to say, oh, she did upper and lower, and she got there, and 70% was upper and lower.
It was abdomen. I'll tell you, see, if I tell you that half of the people, I was just winging it. Do you know that?
Oh boy.
After let's say every paper, I always count how many I think I've shaded right.
Yeah.
And then I know that, oh,
But honestly,
my 50 some count.
I believe we are supposed to
I'm telling
mathematicians.
you, I was calculating, I was adding, I saw that I wasn't even reaching 30. I just stopped. I just stopped. I started praying.
I'm serious. But I think you see that's fact that you have to calculate how much you've shaded. I think right now is automatically inside.
Inside you.
After I've shaded, I know that with this
So
one,
right now, what
either
I always
above
do is
50.
that I always first of all I should do some 100% shoot, and I'll count.
Good.
I
If it's
think
50,
we
and I'll now calm down,
cultivated
and I'll share the one that I'm like 50-50.
we cultivated that because of the system we started with in level 100. So
the plus
there's
one
this
minus one.
there's this thing we do. So like our exams used to be 75 questions, and then each question has a possible answer, and then on our answer sheets, so it goes like question one, then maybe the following
True about Serena.
true about Serena. Then A, Serena is a girl. B, Serena is a boy. C, Serena is 5 foot. C. Then on the answer sheet, it will come A, true or false. B, true or false. So like for each question, there are 5 answers you give. So like one question gives you 5 marks, and then each wrong question comes with a minus. So it was like so hectic and so complicated, and then so it wasn't just about getting correct. You had to make sure like you don't get wrong.
The more
So
you get, the more it takes out the right.
so we got used to like knowing what we know very well. So when you start, you'd answer those you're 100% sure. So you know these are all pluses. Then maybe you wing it with some few maybes there to like maybe
Balance
boost your
it up.
score up. But like I never took that risk, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I remember
Yes.
our first ever block 1.1. I shaded so like there was a embryology course we did in that block, and then I remember I didn't pay attention throughout. So when the exam started, I started answering the questions. Then I saw an embryology question. So I kept on reading till I found the last embryology question. Then I continued from there. Like I literally skipped all the I didn't want to just try my luck. And I think that exam, I was very, very close to the borderline of pass and fail. If I had tried to do some magic, I'd probably not even be in the final year right now. So yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry.
You know, in medical school, you have to actually learn to understand.
Yes.
But then there are times where you actually have to just memorize
And
because
just find a way
the
through.
course is too huge for you to finish in that short amount of time. So, for exam's sake, you just have to memorize it and go and write the exam and just come out.
So I think with that thing is good. Not like it's good to. You have to understand the framework to be able to now put like you need pillars and scaffolding before you can put in like bricks, mortar, and like so yeah, like you have to have like a base understanding of the subject matter before you can even memorize or cram stuff. So yeah, it's good to memorize, but it's the best. But then sometimes the work is too much that actually you need to also cram some stuff to be able to pass your exam. So you just have to find a balance.
Yeah. So this now brings us to the next question. What is the toughest exam we've written so far?
Junior
The part one exam.
part one exam
I knew it.
Part one.
Oh,
of Sengani, yeah. It's like of Sengani and pediatrics, like the most difficult,
that
the
exam
most
was
stressful.
it was crazy.
You know, I entered the pediatric. My very first was his station.
Yeah.
After I spoke, the man told me that if you have a child and this is what is in the head of your pediatrician, will you want to have your kids? Will you feel safe?
Wait, that's dangerous.
At that point, I was just like, I hope my mother is on her mat. I was like, hey, I hope my mother is on her mat because at that point, like,
You need prayers.
I was just having flashbacks and then like things. I was like, would I repeat? Would they ask you to come back?
I feel like mostly the exams we tout them out, especially the OSCE part, like the human part of it. We tout it out to be worse than we've actually performed. Because like yes, the doctors will be mean and they'll be all that, but you've probably not performed so abysmally. Like you probably made a mistake.
No, but sometimes I feel like fine, yes, maybe we kind of overly exaggerate.
No, it's not from us, it's from them.
Yes,
maybe
exactly.
You've made one mistake, maybe the total score is 100, and I've made about 2-3 mistakes that would like bring me down to 70. But he's pissed off at those 3 mistakes because he has taught you or he expects you to have learnt it. So he'll get animated and then they'll make these kind of statements and then you feel like you're feeling, but like you're at 70.
In my head, and mind you, it was my very first stage. So after I got out, right, the way I had to suppress it to then move to that stage because it was my very first stage. And if I joke, it will kind of just affect the others.
Compartmentalize.
Yes. I just had to push my emotions aside and then tell myself at least I was able to do the physical examination also. Even if not anything, maybe I have like half of the mark, and I just moved to the next.
The one you did, was it like abdominal exam?
Yes.
With a small child, boy there.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! You know when I got there, do you know the abdominal exams? When you finish, you are supposed to say, "I would love to do genital exam."
Yeah,
and
I mentioned
the man told me to do the genital exams. I'm telling you. You see,
for me, I did it. Me, I
should
didn't
do
wait
it
for him
though.
to talk.
Oh,
You know me, like when like I got there and then
Yeah.
like when I got to that side, I was like, I would love to inspect his
Genital.
Yeah.
genital, and then I just opened. Actually,
He just went directly.
Yeah,
Okay.
he didn't.
Yeah, I
even
stated,
tell me.
but I didn't want to do. It
Oh,
was like,
okay.
do it.
It
I
was
was
just
like,
the DRE.
yeah, that one. I think they didn't have
But
that.
I also had something similar, like my first station to pediatrics. So pediatrics was my first paper. And in my first station, it was a drug station. But then I had studied, like I crammed, okay, like I was saying, sometimes it's good to cram. So I crammed the drugs the nights before. So when I went in, like it was IP I was familiar with, so I just answered and then I finished. And then I think there was a particular drug, I'd forgotten a particular side effect. I mentioned about, and she was like, she wants one more, and I couldn't get it for her. Then she was like, it's fine, I should leave and go to the next station. Then as I was leaving, she's like, I was wearing this very huge lab coat because they told us not to come with a lab coat with our name on it. And my lab coats have my name on them. So I had to go and borrow a lab coat. I took it. I didn't spread it out to look at it. I was just glad I found a lab coat that last minute. Then so the morning I was ironing it and then I realized it's huge. But I had no other option. So I wore it and I came. So when I was going there, she's like, why am I wearing that? And I was like, I was trying to explain, oh, you guys said we shouldn't come with it. And she was like, that's not an excuse. Like, you should have had one without it. And then it's like, I'm looking like she said, I look like a disappointed old professor who didn't plan out his life and he's now frustrated.
No, that's harsh.
But like the good thing was I had already answered the question. And then she was like, she added that she's going to give me 0 for the dressing aspect of the exam. Like I felt like I had done well enough. So like I wasn't really perturbed by it. Like I was like, let me just put this aside and I went to my next station.
The next question is it possible to have a social life in medical school?
Oh yes,
Very
it's
much.
very possible.
Yeah.
I feel like it depends on first of all, it depends on the individual. There are some people who naturally keeping up with their friends comes off easily for them. For someone like me, it's actually very hard. I may seem very extroverted and all that, but I mostly kind of catch up when I meet you. If I don't meet you and then it's via text, I'll barely text you. So now I kind of make it a duty to check up on certain friends. So there are times that, let's say, when I'm making a list, so there's this thing I usually do, let's say, most of the times in the mornings or at night, I usually make a list of the things that I want to do within the day. So now I actually intentionally put it that I will maybe text maybe Amarachi, text Khadija, text this person, text Tia, so that like within the day, that kind of helps me actively keep up with my friends. The only downside to it is you missing on social events. And then that kind of usually creates this issue, especially if you have friends who expect you to show up in person. Let's say someone has a wedding and then you have an exam.
You might not be able to.
In my case, for instance, most of my friends are in Accra. I'm in school in Tamale. If someone has a wedding, and then let's say I have an exam, the thought of moving from here to Accra, it would actually take me about 13 hours to even get to Accra by bus. And then get there, attend the event, and then come back. Usually stressful. But I think medical school shouldn't be an excuse to
not enjoy it.
I don't think the school in any way affects my social life. Like it doesn't inconvenience me, to be honest. Because like most of my friends, okay, let me put it this way. I spent some part of my basic education here in Tamale. Then I went to pre-sec in Accra. Then I'm back here doing medicine. But then my family stays in Accra. So but my friends in Accra know, and I don't know, maybe with girls, like weddings, they expect you to show up. But like with boys, they know I'm schooling in Tamale. When we are in Accra, when I'm not around, we maybe once in a while we text or like I send you a meme or something. And then with my friends in school here, we see each other like almost every day. Like even if we don't have classes, I'll just be in my room. Sometimes I wake up to my friends. Like I'll be there, like I'll wake up George is in my kitchen cooking, or like we, yeah. So I don't.
But actually,
really,
I like your mentality
yeah,
because for me specifically, I would say like coming into medical school, I was a bit too rigid, feeling like if I have to do something extra outside the education, then it might actually cut on my grades and stuff. But that was the mentality I actually entered with. But as time went on, I was like, nah, I'll have to change.
that's
I'll have
like
to change. I
Halim.
have to change.
Like Halim is a very sociable person. Like if you don't know him, you think he's probably quiet or he's a nerd.
Yeah.
He's a very sociable person. Like
Serious.
but Halim doesn't like, let's say let's go and play a game. Halim will tell you that he's going to like, he's very principled. He's like, he's studying, like he has put aside time for his social life, and it's on weekends. And if it's not a weekend, he won't show up. And I just know that about him. So like I wouldn't expect Halim to show up for, maybe I know he wants to play a game, but like it's a weekday and Halim is going to be studying. So he won't come. Like yeah, he structured his social life and then put it at he has designated spots for
Time,
it.
yeah.
And if it's not that time, he's not going to be indulged.
I think that will even make you more organized in
Yeah,
medical
he's
school.
very organized. So I feel like it really helps
It's
him
all boils down to
study.
personal discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing what you want to do.
I wish I was disciplined like that. Like, I wish.
We all do.
So what is serious?
I wish.
But then let's say we are very stressed out right now. What are some of the events that we can take part in? For me, like this, I'm live watching movies, especially anime. People have this preconception that anime is for small children, but still, I don't care. I think that anime has its own like entertainment and like it entices me a lot. And also, like I just find the concept of watching movie. I can also stay in my room and watch. I can go out once in a while, watch with people, and then the fun just kind of releases the stress. But then how about you? How do you?
Me, I
How do you
usually
release stress?
I sew, so I usually like watch videos of like tutorials for clothes and then also like fashion dresses. Like all
The clothes you posted recently, the one that looked purplish,
yeah, I made it.
you made it yourself.
Yeah, I made
Oh
it
my
myself.
goodness.
I made it myself. Yeah, so I think that's one
Oh.
way. I feel like usually people have this misconception about releasing stress. They kind of tune their minds to you have to be out there, kind of like yes, I do have that aspect of myself, like having fun. But then let's say I just finished an exam and then I'm really tired. I don't feel like stepping out, but then I actually want to de-stress. I'll probably just sit in my room and then sew or watch videos of like tutorials.
Sure.
Yeah, basically that.
I'm serious.
Sometimes the movies. As for stuff, I know it's definitely movies.
Okay.
I watch movies all the time.
Yes.
Child.
I
The other
love
time
movies,
he told me
like-
about watch Sopranos.
I love movies. Like I don't consider watching movies as a way of de-stress. Yeah, it's part of my life.
It's kind of like a part of you. So it's
Yeah,
not like
I
a
don't
way of-
think I use it to de-stress particularly. I just
Understand.
watch, and like I want to comment on something Sanusi said. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
relevant. It was like how people think anime. Like animation is not a genre; it's an art form. So like if you say a romance movie, yes. So like romance is a genre, an action movie, action is a genre. Animation is just an art form. So we have like you can shoot a movie on film, you can shoot a movie on digital, you can make an animated movie. In with animation, you can make it stop motion, you can make it 2D. It's a form. It's not. It doesn't change the subject matter. Like the same way I'd watch an African movie about your typical village life, it can be put in an animated form, and you should be able to watch it. Like it's not for kids. It's an art form. It's not a genre. It's not like, oh, this is kid stuff. Like
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's new to me
basically.
because someone I was talking to someone once and he suggested I watch anime and I'm like
Yeah.
So like with anime,
yeah,
anime
I have
has
this-
everything. I personally,
okay.
I don't like I don't watch. I won't say like I don't watch Japanese anime. It's just a prejudice. Like
Oh, okay.
most of these, your Naruto's and your Dragon Ball Z's, it's prejudice. I'm like,
Oh.
don't watch it. Don't say I won't watch it under the guise of it's for children. I don't watch it because growing up, my friends that were obsessed with anime, they used to. It's some personal, like I just have beef with them.
Yeah,
So like
right.
I have stood on my business that I will never get
Oh,
into
okay.
anime. But like I watch maybe like various forms like Shrek, like your
Oh, okay.
animation is just an art form, but like that whole is a misconception. And then with the distress thing, I think I just bring like I don't think I have a thing in particular.
You
Serious.
could be hanging out with your friends.
Yeah, like hanging out with my friends. Like
Just
there are some nights like it's a Friday, and I'm in my room and like I'm really bored. I don't feel like learning. Like I'll just call good. Let's go and buy pork or something, or I'll call the like we just do something like, or like we can just be indoors. Like sometimes we just go over to someone's house and then like we're just boys. We just like last year we were doing this thing a lot. Like we'll find something like so there was this time there was like cheap tilapia in town, so we just went to buy, then like we'll just pool money, and then Caleb has a grill, we'll just grill tilapia and then we'll buy cake and we'll eat, and then other days we'll do chicken, then other days like that so we just use the grill to just
Yeah.
or you go out something it's not really.
All right. And the next question is, how has medical school changed your perspective of life? Perspective.
Personally, I have undergone so much growth, especially now when I look at myself in first year. The kind of person I had, the kind of person I was, sorry, the mentality I had towards so many things. I have learned like I can combine doing so many things at a time, even if it looks cumbersome. And I've learned about how much discipline goes a long way to help one achieve their goals, because sometimes not talking about myself personally, but sometimes I look at some of my mates who are working full time, who are like married with kids, and then they are still doing medical school, and then some of them aside, or they still have hobbies, and then I'm like, I don't have a kid, like I'm maybe married. So what's my excuse exactly? I'm like, what's my excuse?
I'm serious.
You get, so I feel like it has kind of really shaped my mind to feel like so far as I can actually put in the work and then be disciplined, I can get to do anything I want to do. I don't have to say that probably I'm doing one thing at a time, which is so consuming, and so all my hands have to be tied, and then I shouldn't try and venture into other things.
That's
I feel like that's one of the biggest lessons I have learned.
And I think for me, when we're coming up, especially for the clinical setting, see the fact that you see a lot of deaths, like we knew that in medicine people die, we will face it, but you in person it's a different scenario. So when we started seeing some of those, it actually changed my way of thinking. I was like, what do I actually want in life? Yes, I want to be a doctor, but what do I want to achieve? So you see some of these questions, they are deep within, but if you don't take time to let them come out, find the answers to them, it will just be like you are moving, but you don't have a focus. I mean, that's how it has changed my life. So right now, I know that I want to do this, I want to do this. And one other thing that actually took very serious was the spiritual aspect. It hit me that actually you have to prepare for this side and also prepare for this side.
Let me share this story. There was a time when we were doing internal medicine. I was on M3, but I used to come to M2 to like follow them for ward rounds and also for their tutorials. And there was this woman who had a heart condition. I've forgotten what it was, but she had a memo. And I was told that like I should come and listen to the memo. So I left M3. It was one of my mates who actually sent me the text that the lady is free, so I should come and then listen to the memo.
Let me interject in case like pathologies or like conditions excite us, because we are medical students, we want to learn. So like someone will come and be like, oh, there's a woman on this wall, she has this like, and you quickly run. So it's not like she's a sociopath or something, but like so your pathologies excite us because we want to learn.
So I was excited, and then I decided to take the elevator. When I was in the elevator, you see that metal tray that when someone dies, the carry the person, come and carry her. So when I entered the elevator, then when you go to, no, sorry, the lady was on M1, and then I was on M3. So when I got to M2, someone prayed and they opened the elevator, and then the mortuary men wheeled in one of those metal this thing inside. So I was stuck in I was stuck in the elevator with the corpse and then the mortuary men. Then we got to, so when we got to M1, I got down, and then they proceeded to the ground floor. When I got to the ward, it was the woman who was in the metal. The woman I was with.
You were going to, oh my goodness. It's serious.
I was still down with the lead guy.
Charlie, it's not easy. That one day. It's not easy.
No, that has hit me so much.
Yeah, it has like a dramatic flair to it. Like
Exactly. I was just
You could shoot a film
yes, I was
based on the
literally in
scripts.
there.
And also, what's the skill you wish to have before starting medical school? Like if you had to start
Suturing.
suturing. Okay, yeah, to help in the theater and stuff. That's very good.
Suturing,
You see,
like,
I feel like just look at us for example. Right through medical school, we have only been observing,
yeah.
but you don't have hands on until you become an house officer or something like that.
Okay.
So it's
When I
like
went to,
it's
I
a
got
new
the
thing
chance
to
to
do.
future, yeah,
Oh wow,
twice. It was a cesarean section.
section. Wow.
Yeah, that I assisted in. I was so happy, and it was very clean.
Me,
That's me.
I'm pretty sure you've practiced with something before.
No,
That was
You've
your
never,
first
you've
time.
never had a
I've never,
suturing
I've
skit.
never,
But
I've
she said
never.
she
I didn't want to
sews,
risk it.
so that maybe that
Okay,
also
she
helps.
sews. Cause me,
Ah, okay, yeah. I'm actually
So-
good at sewing. I'm
me,
actually very good at sewing.
I had
Probably
a
that's why.
chance. I also assisted.
But
I
you were
didn't
scared
even.
because you didn't
I was scared that the guy would ask me to maybe close, like, cause someone's
Yeah.
someone's
You know
body.
that I did it so nice that most of
I
the
just
family
didn't.
places around were like, I've sutured better than those house officers during their first
Child, oh my
Probably
goodness.
because I sew. Yeah, I'm
That's
sure
true.
you're right. It's probably because
Seriously.
I sew.
I like
That's why.
I think about it a lot. I've been thinking of getting a suture
That
kit
suture kit,
to
yeah.
practice, because I feel like that's like the major skill
You need
you
if
need to
actually
have
want
as
to be
a
surgeon.
doctor, because
Uh-huh.
the rest of our stuff is like
Even
up
if
here.
not,
If you
yeah.
like, you know the work. I know. Oh, drink this, or oh, I have to touch here to pick up this clinical sign, or this or that. But then, like in surgical, or like maybe someone comes to you
Even
with
at the
a cut
emergency,
at the emergency, you need to suture. Like,
Suture.
I feel like
Sure.
it's like.
And the next question is, have you ever doubted your decision to pursue medicine?
Oh yes, why not trophy wife? I have the list. So many times. Sometimes the night before block, that's when it usually hits me. Like the night before a paper. So like, I'm like, especially when it's like I have mates
Mm.
who did 4-year courses.
Yeah, and they're
And
working now.
yes,
Me is usually with one of my elder brother's friends, so his classmates. So like we're pretty like close, and he did engineering, and then he's always on me. And then one of my cousins who also did medicine and is his classmate. So like my cousins and like my brothers, and then their friends, they're like all the same year group. So like usually I hang out with them. So like the engineering people are always on we those that did medicine, our
yeah.
next that like we are, you see, medicine is not like there's not much room for thinking. Like you're just absorbing
What's that?
1,000 years old knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah.
It's correct knowledge, but then
correct
like
knowledge.
you're not really bringing up anything
Right.
new. Yeah, you're not really doing critical thinking. You're just like understanding, and then like it's like an algorithm. If this, that, if no, this,
Yeah.
like you are just like ruling in and ruling out and stuff like
And
that.
stuff.
So he's always like, we've like brought down our brain, and then also with him like this, he got lucky, like, or I won't say lucky, maybe he is like good. So like he got a remote job, he's getting paid in dollars, and then he's always on our next like
Finish your work as house officer
exactly.
for 80 hours
So-
in a day, and you still not earn half of 40 cents.
So in moments when like we're always maybe hanging out during the Christmas or something, and then like I'll be like, bro, I should have done some engineering course, and because I was like,
It looks like we're tricked.
Yes,
They-
we're tricked.
they told
Because me, in my head, when I was young, in my head, I felt like if I focus on medicine by let's say by 24 I finish school, then 25 I'll buy car for myself, 26 I'll buy car for my mother, 27 I'll build house for my father, 28
Only you.
no, but I feel like it's the current economic.
no, you can't tell me that.
Oh, no, but like, but I feel like
Listen, I
back
know
then
doctors, I
people
know
could
doctors
buy
who have worked
cars.
for 4 years now.
No,
They
like
can't even buy Elantra.
I feel like back then, like if you finished maybe house job,
Well, yeah.
by then you could buy a car, but like it's because of like inflation or what, like cars are now
But
like
even with the inflation, it looks like our
300,000,
leaders are not actually investing in
400,000.
health. That's
Oh,
another
yes,
thing. They are not
yeah.
investing in health.
No, but it's not.
Because you need to, until you become sick, you don't value the, like, what you have, like the health. You don't value it.
No, you see, we have
Serious.
socialized healthcare in Ghana, so our industry is not really like generating like millions or billions of CDs that they can pay us those really, really high wages. It's like, I feel like most people usually look at the US and then like,
people do the conversion.
but like they have capitalists. There is a capitalist system. Like healthcare is like very expensive
Very
over there.
expensive over
They don't
there.
have socialized healthcare. You see, people are always complaining. Like when people jump out to the UK, they always be complaining that it's not what they thought it was. The pay is not. It's because the UK too has like socialized healthcare. Like as they have the NHS, so we have NHIS. They have NHS. So NHS doctors, NHS hospitals, like so that's like our TTHs and our Colibus and all of that. So maybe if you go there, you have a private practice, fine. But like if you are going to work for the NHS, you'd probably not be earning like so. So like I feel like our pay isn't as good as it can be, but like it's not. It can't get to where most people think. Like people expect us to be clearing like no, but you can't be. The people in the US clearing $500,000 a year. They are in like a mad capitalist system where people are paying for healthcare, and we don't do that here. So we can't be clearing that much in a year.
It looks like the financial aspect too, and also I think the stress too sometimes can be like, what the hell?
It's not worth it.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So I was arguing on this with my mom this vacation. I was like, per hour, we probably don't get paid that much as other.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah, because you probably go. People are like, oh, doctors are paid so much, but they don't do anything. Our family members are dying in the hospitals. But like the doctor is probably working more hours than you, because you go to work at 9, you close at 5. That doctor will work way more hours.
Sometimes even 24 hours.
So if they divide the pay by hours worked, you're probably earning more per hour than the medical doctor. But then you feel like he's overpaid. He's not. It's usually I don't sleep. The bullshit my friends are always what I was talking about.
If you are watching this and you're still in high school, let us know and let me know.
And some of us were hitting like 011. So let's say
that you are too pretty to be this down.